Good morning, good morning. Today is Wednesday, the 20th of September, and right now you may see the chart has a trade going, but I will explain that in a little bit. So, first of all, give me one moment. Let's check the news today. Okay, so today we have no news until 2 p.m. Okay? So now that we know we have no news until 2 p.m., we can check the bias for the day. We will assume is bearish, but we will double check. Actually, the bias for the day is bullish, but we're in no place right now to take a bullish trade. So we'll just wait until 8:20, see what it does. The reason why I marked this was because today, if today we were going to take the gold drilling trade, it would have been based on this imbalance right here, right? So that's why I have it marked out like this, just to see what we don't take gold drilling on Wednesdays, but I wanted to just see what it does if we were to take a gold drilling trade on a day like today, which is Wednesday. But overall, this is not a valid trade yet. Since we're bullish for the day, we do want it to drop before we could get into any trades. Hopefully we could get it to drop to somewhere around this area here, or in the middle here. Actually, let's take a look at gold on the hour. Alright, we see gold wants to keep going up, and if we go on the 1 minute, it looks like I'm going to mark the highest to lowest point, which is right here to right here. So we do want it to come down below this level right here. Okay? Once it gets below that level there, we will then continue Okay, so gold drilling on the first entry would have never worked out, right? So we're gonna just watch this, and we're bullish for the day. You could be bearish. It's really close. Let me have a look again. So it went down 3, but it went up 2.6. Let's take a look on other feeds, and we will possibly get 330. Yeah, I think we are just bullish for the day. Alright, we have 3 here. 2, yeah, we're going to assume $392, yeah, so we are basically bullish for the day. Okay, so we do need price to get down below these lows right here. So that's what we're gonna watch for. I will mark the level that we want price to come below before we take the trade. So this was the low of the day, I believe. Yeah, it was. So this was the low. This is the high. We want price to drop below this level, maybe even below the previous weekly high, or this level right here, or this swing, and then we will take a buy. So we need a sharp move down first. Let's take a look at what the daily looks like. So the daily has broken the low and it's reversing, so we may see a pullback and then continuation up. Okay. This is pretty much what we're looking for today. So we'll keep watching, and we will possibly get a bullish setup somewhere down here. Remember, we do have FOMC later, so markets may not even give us a trade. It may continue in a down, up, you know, not moving at all. So give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and post the link. Not sure why it echoed, but okay. Okay, so I'll just go back to gold. Now, if this does close below here on a 5-minute chart, I will be possibly looking to take this trade. It has to close below this level though. Let me go ahead and zoom in and show you guys. Okay, right there. So once price closes below this level, I will take this trade. I will go ahead and delete the Fibonacci because we know price has to close below here for us to be looking for bullish trades. So we'll just wait and see. We're either going to get a bullish trade. So we're going to trade this down once price closes below this level on a 5-minute. And we're going to trade it up once price closes above here. I mean below here. So I will just leave a mark right here. And we will add a text. Put it right here. And we'll say buy. Okay, so buys below here, and alright, so these are 2 trade setups that we could take. Okay. So now we are getting some sort of movement here. Remember, we're looking for the M5 close below here. And we're just looking for our regular buys below this level here. Because below this level here, it will go to the previous weekly high, the midnight open, and maybe even towards the previous daily low, but we don't expect it to go that low. If it does, then we assume it may go here and take out the previous session low or London low, but that's pretty much what we're expecting. So sells below this level here until, and when we take a sell here, it's going to be probably a, let me see, it's going to be like a 1.5 R because we want to make sure we get out. Let me go to a 1 to 5 minutes. Yeah, it's going to be around a 0.5 R, I mean a 1.5 R trade or 2 R. It won't be anything crazy, but again, for that to happen, we need a 5-minute closure right here, which we may get soon. Okay, so if we could get a 5-minute closure right below this line here, we can take the trade. We will take the stop loss maybe above here maybe, and let me go ahead and make sure my magic keys and stuff are ready for this trade. Now, I may not, let's see, we will see. Okay, this is on a 5-minute. Okay, so what we will be looking to take will be a sell trade, like right there. Profit will be, we'll say right here somewhere. We need this trade, this 5-minute candle or the next 5-minute candle to close below that level. If it doesn't, then there's no trade, okay? Sorry if you hear my dog. Okay, so as of right now we have no closure, so we're just waiting, slowly waiting, patiently. Once it does close below, we will look to take the trade. I'm going to see what kind of lot size we'll be using. Okay, so around 5-ish lots. Okay, so this kind of takes me off. I don't want to take a trade all the way down here, to be honest. Actually, we will take a trade down here. We will wait for a retracement up, maybe into this imbalance that just got filled, and then we will take the trade, okay? So I will go ahead and get this ready. You may hear me open, let me see what the lot size will be. For a 1-to-1 R trade, I want this candle to come back up because we're not going to chase this trade. So about a 2 lot, so 2.5. So the idea of this trade would have been something like this. Let me show you. So this candle opened way too aggressive, so we're not taking it. The entry should have been somewhere around here, stop loss up here, and take profit would be somewhere around here. So if it drops to the stop loss, because we want to buy somewhere around down here, right? Somewhere in this area. So we don't want it to go below here first before we take the trade. Okay? See, so something like this is not something we want. We wanted it to retrace a little bit. Okay? If it could retrace and then come back down, is ideally what we would like. So something like this is good. Maybe we'll take it even in here somewhere. I would like to take it somewhere inside here. Okay, so not right here. Okay, we'll let it dive a little bit in because it has to go up a little bit into the area. If we go back on the 5 minute, I would like to see it a little bit up, and then we will take this trade. Okay, so I will probably take this trade here. Okay, let's see. I will take the trade here. As you heard, I entered the trade. And what lot size did I enter it on? 2.9. Okay. Okay, so I'm entered in the trade, and if I go back here, let me just do this. So if I go back here, I entered it a little bit above, so maybe around like here. But the idea is that we want it to go below here. The stop loss is set pretty good. It's a 1 to 2, 1 to 1.2 because this candle was really big, right? So we'll just take it for what it is. We don't care. Sorry about that. We don't care if this trade loses or wins. On my other account, I will take another small trade. So I do have other accounts I could take small trades on that do not affect. Okay, so we'll just wait and see. Okay. Not sure why it's moving the wrong stop loss or whatever. Okay, I'm just opening up some little small trades. I'll probably hedge my position after, but because we're still looking for buys down below the pretty much below the lows there, so we'll just wait and see what happens here. This could essentially swing up because it has broken the previous low swing low, which is where we were potentially looking to get buys, but obviously we're not getting buys down there yet. if we look on the chart here, it broke the low right here, which was the first low we wanted it to break, right? Because when it broke this low, it actually went into this imbalance right here. And now it's slowly reversing up. But we're still bearish because if we want to get bullish, guys, we're not going to be buying up here, right? If institutions or anybody wants to get bullish, they aren't buying at the highs. They need a bigger retracement. And yes, this is a nice retracement down here, right? But it's not big enough. Let me take a look at what SPX is doing. Give me one moment. Okay. So here we have another trade that would have been valid. Would have been the SPX trade right here. So we'll see how that plays out. And let me go ahead and take... I forgot to place one more trade on my small account, which would be, let's say 0. Alright, there we go. Alright. I was moving my stop loss a little bit lower. Okay, so this is good that it's going up now, because it could just be grabbing liquidity and retesting this imbalance right here, and then we could continue to sink down. So we're just watching, and we're going to see how it plays out. We're still bullish on the day, don't get that wrong. We're only taking the sell because this is something I'm looking into when there's big imbalanced moves like this above a certain area, right? We take these trades, so whether it plays out or not doesn't really matter. We could lose this trade, we could lose the next trade. Trade by trade, we're not going to... so the trade on SPY or SPX or whatever, SP500 would be right here. So something like this. And SPX is doing pretty good. If you didn't get into this trade, you still have time to get in. And like I said, it may very well lose, but we don't really care about the results if it loses or wins. We're mainly focused on just placing the correct trade, and this was a correct trade. I may move a take profit to a 1R instead of a 1.2 or a 1.5. 1.5 is ideal because we're expecting it to come break these lows. It already broke these ones here, but I do believe it will come back and break these lows here. However, if we see it just slowly creeping down, we may take it at like 1.2 or 1R just to be safe. So I'll let you know when I do move my take profit, if I do move it. So far there's nothing. We're in a little bit of drawdown, but that's it. Looks like SPX would have hit the take profit before reversing, which is good. We didn't take that one though, we're looking at gold. So on a 1 minute, we have price consolidating around this area. Let's see what it does. I would like to see it start reversing soon because I think we did dive down pretty well, so we may retest these highs, but aside from that, I do believe we are now bearish. Based off breaking here, we may come up and test this area right here before going lower, or it may just shoot down from this area right here, this marked line, right? So we may test this area, or even this imbalance right here, which is this last candle here. So I may move my stop loss just a little bit higher, make sure we don't get tagged out. But yeah, we just want to make sure we don't get tagged out of this trade, because we do believe it will go lower before it goes higher. And if it does go higher, it's okay. So here we had a candle close without a top wick. So this shooting up here is actually a good sign, unless it shoots up over our stop loss, but we do believe it's going to reverse. Okay, so it's tested this area right here, which is also this last big green up move, so we should be able to hold here. Does it hit stop loss here? It's a little bit close. It may hit stop loss. We're not going to move stop loss any higher. If it does hit stop loss, it hits stop loss. Yeah, it's about to hit stop loss here. Yeah, it's hit stop loss, so we're out of this trade. Well, it didn't really hit it, but it did basically wick into stop loss, and we'll see how it plays out the rest of the trade. Okay, let's see. It's still in on my other broker. It didn't even hit on this We just got knocked out by spreads, but if it goes up anymore, it will knock the other trades out, which is okay. Let's continue watching what happens. So my stop loss was around, let me see, on the 5-minute. It was actually a little bit higher because on this chart it broke it, but it was like around here. And the spreads took us out right there. On a 1-minute, we did have a nice buy trade right here, but this is not what we wanted. We wanted price to break these lows and close maybe a little bit below here before going up. So I got tagged out of a pretty small trade, nothing really big, but we'll see how it goes. Now here, depending on what this candle does, it may continue driving up, but let's see if we could get a decent move down. If you're in this trade and you didn't get stopped out, then you're pretty much good, but if you got stopped out, you could re-enter because you got wicked out, but unless this closes bullish and then this continues driving up, then we're pretty much done with this trade. We do have FOMC later, so we may not get the moves that we do expect. I may get into a smaller trade again, just to see if we can if this closes bearish, we will get into a smaller trade. We have about 10 seconds left. Okay, so we'll enter the trade here and see here. 3.5. Okay. So we re-entered based on the fact that we got wicked out. We didn't really get stopped out. So I will be looking at let me place my stop loss really quick on this broker. And take profit will be okay. So we have our order placed and take profit set. I do hope this time it will not wick us out, but if it does, it does. It's okay. Alright, while it plays out, I'll be right back, guys. I will go get a drink. Hopefully it gives us what we want, and we'll be back. And okay, so we took a trade here, and we're taking it right below these lows, I believe. Let me see. Yeah. Alright, be right back. Alright, I'm back. So it looks like we're going to hit stop loss. Well, we haven't hit it yet, but it looks like we may hit stop loss because this candle is going to get filled. Looks like this candle wants to get filled this wick. If that happens, then we'll take a loss on this, and that would be about I'd say 1%, about a 1% loss today. Which is okay, we don't really care about the losses, but yeah. Okay, we will see. We still have a lot of time in this trade, but unless it obviously shoots up. Now if it shoots down, then we have a lot of time in this trade, but if it shoots up, then we don't have a lot of time in this trade. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is sort of a nice move that we wanted. 30 seconds left in this candle. But this could just be grabbing liquidity right here to go right back up. So we're not convinced until we break these lows. If we break these lows, we're convinced we're going to hit take profit. Let's see. See, like I said, this right here has to break because we have this pullback that it has to break. It has to break this pullback, this pullback. So if we could get below here, then we know we are in a good trade to keep going down. This engulfing candle is holding pretty nicely. Let's see if we could get some strong pushes on the downside. What's the 15-minute doing? 15-minute is actually an inside bar, so the 15-minute could flip. At any point, it could flip in the next 3 minutes, bullish or bearish, and we're hoping it will flip bearish. It bounced off of this imbalance right here. Looks like it wants to be bullish. Let's take a look at the stop loss will increase just to 0.5%. So a total we would have lost about 1% for the day if this continues going up. On the 15-minute, it does look bullish, right? Because you had this right here, and then you had the sweep of these lows. So essentially, this should break the high, right? But never be fooled by trades like this, because this could very well just be another move down. So you never know what's going to happen. So once you enter the trade, you just accept the win or the loss. Let me go ahead and check what's going on here. Okay. 5 minute is about to close, and it closed here. So it would be ideal here now for price to go up a little bit, right? We want it to go up a little bit, preferably not above this high, okay? Definitely not above this high, but we want it to go up a little bit around here, and then we want it to maybe a little less, and then we want it to drop. So the earlier the candle goes up and then reverses, we know that we're secured for a bearish candle here. Okay, so it did create a little wick. Probably not the best wick, right? It could have been bigger. But if we start dropping and we drop below this low, and we close below this low, or at least below the open, then the next candle we should see should keep diving down, right? And possibly reach into this area right here, which is the previous weekly high. We could get a retest of that level. So we will see whether we should. On a 5 minute, it is looking bearish, but it could flip at any point, right? Because like I said, the wick is not that big on this time frame. Looks like it went to break even again. We really needed to close below that blue open right here. This green candle's open. Once it closes below there, I think we could head down, fill this wick right here, and then probably fill this imbalance right here. It is creating a bottom wick, so if this was to flip, we lose this trade. So hopefully it doesn't flip up. On a 1 minute, let's see what it's doing. It's just selling now. The selling is pretty weak. It hasn't had a really big sell-off. It needs a really big red sell-off. Alright, here we are at break even again. I'll let you know how this does. Alright, Okay, so if this flips bullish, we're in trouble, but if it stays bearish, we're pretty much looking strong to break and close below here. We still have a few minutes for this 5-minute candle. It created the top wick, so we would like it to break. The blue candle's low or open is the key here. It has to blow below this level, and then we will see another candle blow lower. And I'm going to remove this text right here, so I will just do this. Remove this, and I will remove this line here. We want to target the previous week highs right here, or a little bit below it, but let's see what happens. It could be doing the same candle, 3 candle pattern it did here, where it went lower 3 times then higher. So it could be going lower 3 times then higher. So if that's the case, then we lose the trade. But if it's gonna keep going down here, where we have FOMC at 2 p.m. in about 5 minutes or 7 minutes, if we don't do anything, I will end the stream and I'll let you guys know tomorrow how it went. We're just hanging around the break-even level here. And a little bit of drawdown, nothing crazy. Alright guys, let's see. Here we have the flip, so this might be bad news for us here, because this means this is flipping up. And if it does do that and keeps going up, we may see this whole wick get filled. So hopefully it doesn't break the high here in the 5 minutes. Otherwise it's a bad sign. We still have 2 more minutes. It shouldn't close above this level. We're hoping it doesn't close above here. And on a 30 minutes, closes in 7 minutes, right? For the 30-minute candle, we want this to flip bearish. We would love to see this flip bearish for the next 7 minutes. If this flips bearish, the next candle will definitely look like on the 30-minute will go down. On the hourly, looks pretty bullish to me. Four-hourly candle just started. It could do whatever it wants. We could even see price go back bearish, because this candle here did not have a bottom wick, so we could see it come all the way down here. Let's go to 15 minutes again and see what it's doing. Remember, we want this 15-minute to preferably close below the open. If it doesn't, then we'll probably lose, but I think I'm gonna call it there for the stream. I'll keep monitoring the trade and let you guys know how this trade goes. But if you're not in it, you could take this trade. If you are in it, then hopefully you win the trade. Alright? I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, and have a good rest of your